I don't have anything funny to say for this video, but apparently if you just say, for the boys...
Prescription at the drugstore. I remember it's the first time that I realized I'm getting old and life is a nightmare. I'm getting old, I just found my first gray hair. Nobody cares cause all the kids in today's pop scene were born after 1999. I will say goodbye, I'm getting older all the time, and no, I'm not as relevant. My old songs are pretty sweet. Please don't mind what I'm trying to say, cause I like the nostalgia when I hear you. Tell me my band is here to stay, even though we don't want to change. Modern musicians really freaking blow.
Hello, I've been very busy. Look at my whimsical fucking office. Isn't that great? I just went to go and notify everybody, but Guru beat me to it because she's the camp mom. And I'm here with Ray. He's the important piece of this thing. Oh no, I'm just kidding. Happy 8 years of sobriety. Hooray!
Hello. Yay.
No more crack for you.
No more heroin.
No more heroin, no more crack, no more methamphetamine.
Does that mean I'm not important?
What? No,
I want to be important, man. That's not fair. What did I do wrong?
I thought you'd find that amusing. You know?
Oh, I find great joy in it too, honestly. I find great joy in it.
Sorry if my eyes seem lifeless, people, as I was playing Minecraft. So, yeah.
Well, at least it wasn't the drugs. I'm glad it wasn't the drugs that got your eyes lifeless. Good job, man. Good job.
No, Will slip some fucking codeine in my water.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna sober from heroin, meth, and crack, but just can't beat that ketamine addiction.
Well, I never did crack. I did do opioids and meth, which I'll be 3 years sober in September on meth, but
I gotta play a gaming flip cup.
in less than 12 days, I'm going to be in New York.
Oh no, you got a busted tooth? Fucking me too. Basically, all of the ones you can't see. Have just fucking, that's what happens when you're homeless for a while and you don't have insurance, and then you get insurance, and they're like, we gotta pull them, and then, hey, we want $3,000 to replace the tooth, and if you don't replace the tooth, your jawline's gonna narrow, and we can't put new teeth in. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just hanging on to as much money as I can, and then I'm going to Asmongold the shit out of this. So
you could always go to one of those like back alley shady dentists and,
Oh, okay. So you know what works really great for that, Guru? I'm going to tell you something. As a guy who has a lot of problems with this, right? You just go in the shower with a knife and you just cut it. You just cut it off. You just cut it out.
Yeah, like a foreskin.
That's what I do. Yeah. That is how I lost my foreskin the first time. The second time was on purpose.
What's up? What's up, Trusty Ape?
Trusty Ape, been a while. Sassy's here. Oh, good Lord. Bucky. Guru Lady, the aforementioned. Oh my God, that should be your new name, Guru. Guru Lady.
The aforementioned.
The aforementioned. Makes you
all
sound...
right. But yeah, so on the Sunday, I'll be 8 years sober from opioids, including.
Oh, we
heroin.
don't do the show. We don't do the show on Sunday.
We do not. So we have. So I just wanted to, celebrate that with you guys. Maybe talk a little bit about like how I've gotten sober and how to stay sober, if you will. I know that we have a lot of other shit planned tonight. So
yeah,
I don't have special ending.
I've been watching Smokey go after Praise a little bit because he's been talking about it to me. And I'm thinking about I thought it was funny only because there was an instance where he was on somebody else's channel and he got this free gracer dude to admit that belief is a work. So he got this dude to say, and this is in the context of Christianity as a whole, he got this dude to say that belief is a work, so you should believe the one time and then stop believing or you're going to hell. And it was not a joke. These people, these people are retarded. They have no idea what they're talking about. It's unfortunate.
So just let them burn, man. Like, what's the? It's just a waste of time to talk to them.
That's what I told him. And that's the other thing too. He was on the news unit this week, and I did tell him. You what?
That's Dave, right?
Yeah, it's Dave. And
hi, Cheryl.
He was on the news unit this week a couple of times because he's making it Smoky Week. I guess that's what Dave wants to do over there. And then, oh look, there he is. I am also going to be busy, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. I was over there on the news unit and I was harassing him, and I was harassing this dude called P-Town. I think it was P-Town, and I kept telling Smokey that he needs to stop eating krill. I said, "You're a whale right now. You're eating krill. Why are you eating krill? You're literally a 10-ton aquatic mammal. Just eat the fucking fish. Stop eating the krill. Find somebody who's like worthy or like not." And then he agrees with me every time, and then he does it again. So we'll see if he can get it together this week. Also, he's supposed to be his voice. Swear to God and Sonny Jesus, if I see you on another fucking stream, because I'm not going to get to, I've done all this work to get us to the 30th, and if you sound like you smoked every fucking cigarette in the pack by the 30th, I'm going to kill you and everyone that you like. Actually, strike that, reverse it.
I'm going to have everyone you like kill you.
Exactly. Quentin knows what the deal is. Okay, so why is the stream going to be a little short tonight? Because I have to go help somebody that we all know. And I'm not going to get into it because it's nobody's fucking business. But needless to say, I need to drive a lot very early in the morning tomorrow. So.
And I also have to be at the ass crack at dawn tomorrow. So.
Yes, because Quentin has to leave at like about.
I have to leave around 4:50 to get to my bus stop to get to work at 5:50. So,
yeah. So that's what's up. But we're not here to talk about that shit. We're here to talk about Jesus tonight. You have an opener. I believe we do. I'm very much rhetorical. I had to open Discord. It took me a while. I had to restart my computer. It was very slow. For some reason, every week when I come down here, it requires a restart to get the Bluetooth to work. I don't like corded headphones. So I like to be free. I'm free and whimsical. I'm so fucking whimsical up in here. I believe, if I remember correctly, I'm kind of looking at notes. You wanted to do a prayer, Ray?
Yeah, but anytime, bro. I can't do that right now.
Okay.
I mean,
why are you in the middle?
Yeah.
Are you in the middle of it? Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I mean, we could talk about the thing that I was queuing up while he's doing his thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I do want to thank all of the cult and for having my back, because like I said, 8 years sobriety is not. People will think it's an easy thing, and people will talk shit, because how dare you celebrate something you shouldn't have been doing in the first place? Well, eat my dick.
Yeah.
People make mistakes.
Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord.
Say it. There you go.
Also, thanks Jesus for helping me stay sober. But one of the things that I've been trying to learn myself and to teach other people who are struggling with the same thing is, you're never going to not think about using. You're not going to ever get rid of that want in the back of your head. It's just a matter of, finding the people that will help you stay away from it and trying to find something to fill the void, whether that be like, playing Minecraft at 3:00 in the fucking morning or talking to these idiots, just don't. Just because you think about relapsing doesn't mean you're not making progress. Just don't relapse. That's the harder part.
Why didn't they think of that before? Just don't relapse. It's so easy. Just whatever. Just don't. Why are you addicted to drugs? Just stop relapsing, you stupid bitch.
And if you really need it, like seek help. Like I know not everybody is excited about Narcotics Anonymous or Alcoholics Anonymous, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I've always said, and I always believe, that if you work the program will work for you. So just surround yourself with people that are gonna keep you on the right path, and eventually you'll be able to say you've made it 8 years sober.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's to another 8, Q.
Hell yeah.
I said here's to another 8, bro.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm hoping.
But I think that therapy and 12-step programs are bullshit. But if you think it works for you and it does, then cool.
Congrats on the 25 years, Shep. That's really good, man.
Yeah.
So on other news, apparently I am a baby diaper Christian, according to certain people.
Okay, whatever. Still more saved than praise. Just saying.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how that works, but
Was that Shia?
That's Shia LaBeouf.
Shut the fuck up! Say Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord. Say it. You say Christ is Lord.
Yikes.
So if you were wondering what the thumbnail is, Will and I play Pokemon Pocket TCG, and that is a Wigglytuff card that you can get in the new set.
It's Padre Wigglytuff.
It's Padre. I think he's the creepiest fucking card. But like people that I talked to off air, I've been bitching that I couldn't get one card to complete the fucking set that I'm working on. I finally got it yesterday.
I'm happy for you. Praise the Lord. Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord.
There we go.
Dude, like I was so afraid that I was gonna have to save up another 500 fucking pack points just to buy a stupid B barrel. Which is a waste of fucking...
that would be a waste.
That's the beaver, right?
It's a beaver, yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Oh, my back hurts so bad.
Does your face hurt?
No.
Well, it's killing me.
Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord, motherfucker. Fuck you, bitch.
Hey, Basement Dweller. How's it going, brother?
Basement's helping us with our invite list. Everybody's going to get something.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. Some people are going to get very special, personalized invitations that will be very shocking.
So is my invitation going to be handed to me when I get to New York?
I could do.
That'd be great.
Oh, okay.
We'll do a little unboxing.
There's a couple of people that we could send. There's a couple of people that we could send handwritten. Oh yeah. Smokey's gonna. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I don't want to blow it.
We'll do an unboxing of my invitation.
Oh hell yeah. Christ is Lord. Say Christ is Lord. Everybody in the chat say Christ is Lord.
Guys, remember, this is the only channel that God actually works through.
Exactly. It's the only one.
All these other channels are not on our level.
This is why Jesus listens to me and not Smokey. That's why. Because I say Christ is Lord.
Hi Cheryl, by the way, I know you're
Christ
watching.
Is Lord. Have it.
Christ
Still no
Lord.
Jesus anoints or whatever the fuck anoints. Fuck.
I was thinking about this, right? And something that came to me.
Hold on 1 second. Very important. Sassy. Say Christ is Lord.
Say it.
Shut the fuck up. Say Christ is Lord.
I was thinking about this, and maybe Ray can work it in a prayer. But I believe instead of making fun of our enemies, we should just pray for them, because I feel like that would piss them off more.
Why are you trying to piss them off, bro? What's the point of that?
I don't know. I mean, they're gonna get mad at us for no matter what we do. So
Yeah, so why contribute to that? The whole point of that was to do something good, and then you finished it with something evil. Don't do that.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just pray for them. If they get mad at it, then that's their fault.
It doesn't really matter. I don't want them to be mad. That just shows their weakness. Like exhibiting emotions is not it's not strength, it's weakness. Getting angry and yelling at somebody is not what you do when you're strong. That's what a weakling little bitch does.
Yeah, but we're gonna pray for them, and Cheryl, if you're watching, we're praying for you too.
Yes, everybody say hi to Cheryl.
Hi,
And
Cheryl.
Tell her to say Christ is Lord too. I bet she can't. There's some Christians that actually believe that people who are demon possessed are like afflicted or infested or whatever terminology you want to use. Catholics. Some people say
wait. Isn't the Catholics the one that touch little boys and the Pope protects them? The Pope protects pedophiles. Isn't that the same one?
Like that. It's okay. Sort of like a Kitty Diddler shell game situation. Find the pedophile around and around. Where does he go? And then
magical cylinders, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Magic everything. Just pray to the Virgin Mary. Why would you bother with Jesus? You can ask his mommy. What the fuck?
That's a fair point, man.
I did. There's a fucking little parish on that. There's Quarry Crossing Road. It's like it doesn't. And then there's like an intersection headed back towards the village.
Yeah.
And that fucking road, there's like a little church. And I was coming home from work one day, and I seen them out front of the fucking statue of the Virgin Mary out there, praying to the Virgin Mary, and I couldn't believe my fucking eyes, because not even the Catholics are that audacious to do that on the front goddamn lawn. Like, what are we talking about?
Why would they pray? She didn't do anything. She just, she pushed him out, right? Or did she do something special that I don't know about?
It was during like the Ukraine war, and they were like praying to Mary.
No, but I mean Mary though. Like, what did she do something that I don't know about? As far as I'm aware, she just pushed the kid out, right?
Well, some people say that God created Mary special. Okay. See, because God wanted Christ to have the perfect mother. So Mary was like a special creation, and she was kept pure. And some people go so far to say that she is in fact without original sin. Not that she never sinned ever, but that but from the time she was born to the time Jesus was born, no sin. She was kept sinless by God. And I don't know whether that matters salvifically or not. Maybe it does, maybe it's not. But
well, either way, she's nothing compared to Jesus, because like nobody is.
Well, yeah, right? Obviously. But like a lot of people have some. Just
why wouldn't you? Why would you not pray to the highest? Like, why would you not pray to the big man himself? I don't understand. Why would you pray to like a prophet? Like, I think they do that in Islam, right? They pray to fucking their little prophet Muhammad, tiny little boy Muhammad.
Yeah, you know what I do also that a lot of people don't do? I pray specifically to the Holy Spirit, because everyone's like, God help me. And they say, Jesus help me. Nobody says Holy Spirit help me. I feel like he feels left out, or they, I guess.
Well, let me tell you is that I
don't want to fuck up the Holy Spirit's pronouns, but
I finished what I was doing, and it went horribly because I wasn't able to focus, which is fine. This is more important. I just need a minute, and then I will say that prayer. I added one more little paragraph that I think is really powerful. Okay, so cool. Actually, why don't we watch one of those Jesus videos? Unless you have something else you want to talk about right now.
No, I'm kind of just going through. I'm just kind of going through it, just like in the spirit of the thing.
Let me go through. There's a video I didn't post in there. It was a short video where there was a man who Jesus commanded. I don't know if he commanded or asked him to go around and heal people, but he himself was like injured in some capacity. And
why can't I remember the name of the apostle? He's an apostle.
Yeah, he was walking on a cane in the show. or a walking stick. I'm trying to find.
Yeah.
There was a great video
in
clip
the
I had on it.
Bible. In the Bible, it doesn't make it exactly clear. Give me 1 second. I'm so fucking. Oh, yeah. James, son of Zebedee.
Little James. Okay, yeah, I got the
Little
clip right here.
James. Yeah.
Give me 1 moment for this fucking shit to load.
Yeah, in the Bible, it doesn't exactly.
I'm sure the show
say
is
that
not
he's
it
a cripple.
exactly. I don't think that
No,
the
it's
show is
not.
exactly, but it's a good enough. I think it gets the nature of Jesus. It shows him very well. It humanizes him, which is something that I didn't really get from reading the text itself. Like you see emotion in his eyes. Like he really. I felt more connected to him, seeing him as a human being.
Yeah, I started watching the show, like, I think.
I posted the link in private chat, by the way. And then,
in private chat? Oh, I was looking in Discord. That was my bad.
Okay, I'll start using that. I'm glad that you have that open.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know why it didn't just go.
I'll send it to Discord.
No, yeah, that's fine. It's all good. I got the link. I just had to copy it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I don't know why when I clicked the link it didn't do what I wanted it to do, but anyway, here we go. Sharing the screen.
So you're telling me that I have the ability to heal? Find that difficult to imagine with my condition, which you haven't healed. Why haven't you?
Because I trust you. Precious little James, I need you to listen to me very carefully, because what I'm going to say defines your whole life to this point and will define the rest of your life. In the Father's will, I could heal you right now. And you'd have a good story to tell, yes?
Yes, that you do miracles.
And that's a good story. But there are already dozens who can tell that story. And there will be hundreds more, even thousands. But think of the story that you have, especially in this journey to come. If I don't heal you, to know how to proclaim that you still praise God in spite of this. To know how to focus on all that matters, so much more than the body. To show people that you can be patient with your suffering here on earth because you know you'll spend eternity with no suffering. Not everyone can understand that. How many people do you think the Father and I trust this with?
I thought that was a really powerful clip when I saw that the first time.
Yeah, I have to add the splash to the screen when we do that. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
I sent you the link to the clip on forgiveness I was telling you about. I don't remember if it was before the stream or when it started, but that's the one with Simon Peter and Matthew. I thought that was really powerful too.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm still having a copy paste. It keeps trying to. I have to remember. I want to probably tomorrow when I get down here in my office to switch. The default is the default is fucking Chrome
or whatever. Yeah,
not fucking Internet Explorer. That's what's happening to me. This is 21 minutes long, but we can kind of break it up.
Yeah.
Gotta add the splash back. Here we go. There we go. Come on. All right.
About half of your penalty balance.
Half the penalty?
My records indicate that you filed for an extension not once, not twice.
He just needed a couple of extra days, man.
I'm right. Extended rates compound at 15%. As collateral, you've listed a fishing vessel and property at...
All right, I'm sorry about that. What my brother didn't mention was our arrangement with Quintus.
You have business with Quintus?
Yeah, my brother's dead. And a year gratis for both of us.
Did you hire a man to spy on Jewish merchant vessels fishing on Shabbat to avoid taxation?
Yes. Simon. He's in your district?
He is.
His debts are forgiven. Surprise.
As well as those of his brother?
Yes. Forgiven. Goodbye.
Thank you for your time, Praetor.
I do not find Simon reliable. Once he was deficient in his taxes, and when I pursued remedy, I discovered that he had spent an inordinate amount on games of chance at a local establishment. Additionally, based on his financial status, I questioned Simon's connections to the merchant class.
Oh, man. I have to deal with somebody in chat right now. You say you never cried about the Smokey thing, right? But here you are in my chat, no Smokey, making noise. It does sound like you're fucking crying. All right? So I really only have one thing to say to you. Say Christ is Lord. You say it. Say Christ is Lord. All right, you can fuck off now. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't know what you want from me. Okay, I'm not his tard wrangler. He's not here. If he's not here, I'm not here to wrinkle the tard. Okay, I'm sorry that you have a problem with Smokey, but
keep it to Smokey, bro. Just keep it to fucking Smokey, Bond. We're here to talk about Jesus and do something positive and, you know, bring value to people. So, like, don't ruin that or you'll make an enemy of me. And you really don't want that.
So you want to come in and have an argument about the thing that you were arguing with Smokey about with me. Smokey's not coming in. I don't know if you looked in chat.
Well, I don't mind if Bond comes in. I've got no problem with him. He's a friend of mine.
No,
I do.
No, I do, and I'll tell you why. Because he wants to argue with Smokey about something that happened that wasn't on this stream. There's no continuity. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck we're talking about, and I'm not taking an hour. Read the chat or read the fucking description. We're not gonna be here that long. I think I even said, let me look. I think I said specifically that I don't want to.
So you don't want to hear about Jesus. You don't want to talk about Jesus. You just want to like fucking argue. Is that what you're saying, Bond? If you don't want to talk about Jesus, I'm more than happy to give you lessons on some other things. Can you do a push-up? How about, do you know how your digestive system works? When do you go into ketosis?
Can you say Christ is Lord? I don't know why, but I just realized, and I'm glad I looked. StreamYard is now, I'm paying for StreamYard, and they're advertising on my channel without paying me. This is going to be a fucking problem. They automatically added this shit. Here, I'll post it in private chat because we probably can't see it. Yeah, and I did say I don't want to have a conversation that lasts longer than an hour. I literally said that.
Well,
I literally said that. You can go look. Anyway, so they're not paying me to say this. If you see this discount thing, I don't get any money off of it. So don't click it. I'm gonna have words with them. I'm gonna have words with them someday this week because that's bullshit.
Well, now that we've gotten over the little speed bump, do you want me to say that prayer now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, so this is a little bit different. This is a little bit different in my normal prayers. I actually took some time and thought about what I wanted to say and wrote it down. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to sound or come out, but it's me speaking directly to the Lord. So I hope that everyone will be kind and forgive me. Dear Heavenly Father, our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Thank you for this day and our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I ask that you grant us the privilege of basking in your presence, fill us with your essence, and allow us to exhibit your divine will upon our physical plane. Please gift us divine healing and rid us of all of our ailments and addictions, our obstacles, remove them from our path, and lighten the burden of any soul that is weary. Please cleanse our eyes and take the thorns so that we can see you better. Please allow us to listen and hear and observe you more, and allow us to have the ability of clairvoyance so that we can act more clearly. I really beg that you eliminate the chains that bind us. You embolden us to overcome our own shortcomings. You help us grow our spirit and strengthen our resolve. I really pray that you can reprogram our minds so that we can perform to our highest capability. We beg that you give us the courage necessary to make positive changes in our lives and the tenacity required for meaningful progress. We hope that you, Heavenly Father, will act through us and for us for the betterment of the future. In Jesus Christ's special precious name, amen.
Amen. Christ is Lord. Everybody in chat better be saying Christ is Lord right now. Bastards. Anyway, that was awesome. I love
Thanks,
that.
man. It might have been a little bit too long, but there was just so many things that I wanted to ask the Lord for.
I've heard longer, I'll be honest. Have you
Yes,
not
so have I.
talk?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's why we have the hourglass. We have to keep them on a short leash.
Yeah.
Anyway. Weird. Okay, dude, I'm telling you now, you're actually pissing me off tonight. I really don't have time for your games. You said at 9:28 that you were leaving. It's 9:32 my time. If you're going, go. If not, stop spurging in my chat. Okay, this is an interesting development. That's a step in the right direction. That's better than nothing. I don't even really care.
I mean, if there was anybody that was ever going to possibly be considered somebody worthy of being called a Lord or a King, it would be Jesus Christ, and nobody else compares. And that's just a fact.
There we go.
Like, literally nobody else compares. He's just the best in every capacity. If you like any fucking comic book character or any fucking anime character and you don't like Jesus Christ, you're fucking retarded. Like, honestly.
Bond's talking in chat. He did say he'd talk about Jesus.
It doesn't really matter what he said. He's irrelevant. Honestly, we're wasting too much time even bringing up his fucking comments. We should be talking about Jesus or Q and addiction or literally anything is better than that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I will say,
but I do like this comment. This is actually a step in the right direction. He says he's in detox. I don't know if I fully believe that. It also doesn't matter whether I believe that or not. But if he is, I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you get off the drugs and the alcohol, and I hope you find Jesus Christ. How about that? How's that for a fucking pre-Easter wish here?
Yeah.
Oh God. And that is what I want to bring up, is that this is the Wednesday before Easter. And I'm kind of sad because I really should have been in California by now, but I couldn't do it this year the way that everything worked out. I'm going to go in October, but last year, 420, we went for, we did Passover at Smokies. We did 420 at Smokies. We did Easter at Smokies. And it's the first Easter that I didn't spend at home, like at my mom's house or my my own house or anything. So that was kind of meh. But we did have a lovely Easter dinner, and his grandmother is a sweet woman, and I love her, and I hope that she lives to be 1,000 years old. And if she can't, then I hope she gets into the highest level of heaven. How about that? How's that for there's another prayer for you. Just a little something.
Hey, do you think the amount of push-ups you can do determines what level of heaven you get into?
I hope not.
Do you think if somebody is like, do you think like if my, let's say I had an overweight grandparent, do you think they would go to the same level of heaven as somebody who's physically fit?
I think that has nothing to do with.
Yeah, and I think you know exactly why I said it, right? You remember?
Yeah, I do.
May
you join the call. It depends. I'm not going to have an hour-long conversation about whatever the hell you want to talk about.
Their name is Ligma, dude. That's a bait and a half.
No, well, I know that, but the reason I said that is because I know that's exactly what they want to do. Is they want to have they either want to come in and fucking troll, or they want to just have an hour-long conversation about fucking I don't know, some non-salvific nonsense in the Bible. Are we reading Deuteronomy correctly?
No,
You
don't
know?
bring this guy in. It's a waste of time. I got plenty more things that I'd rather talk about than whatever this guy's got to say. Like the link I just sent
I'll tell you
is
what.
significantly more interesting.
You can talk in chat. We're gonna bring the video back up. You have no plan for a conversation? I believe that. I believe that now that you said that. Okay. Thank God you have no plan for a conversation. Now I'm absolutely not bringing you up. Okay. So back to the video, because I feel like this is powerful. Because Matthew is a tax collector. And
yeah, he's the rotten cocksucker. That's basically what he's exhibiting there. The fucking the Roman guy was gonna let Simon Peter off the hook, and fucking Matthew started flapping his gums because he's like, no, why does this guy get a handout? Why does he get a pass? I've never gotten a pass. I had to sell out all my fucking people to get anything. And so he's trying to fucking get retribution and take out his own toxic energy on fucking Simon Peter. And that's where he's at right now in his life.
In spite of his current intentions, I do not believe you have an accurate understanding of what he can deliver.
I'm sorry for this dishonor, Peter.
Say your last prayer, Jew. Stay there a moment, Captain. Are you saying I made a bad deal?
Yes.
Where did he come from?
Here, Capernaum, Dominus.
I remember watching this scene for the first time and kind of getting really introduced to the character of Matthew. And my first thought was, is this kid fucking autistic? And I don't mean that in a mean way. I don't mean that in a mean way, but the Bible does kind of give you this sort of bluntness that I'm only familiar with in autistic people. I'll be honest.
He is big
Where
on the
did you
numbers,
come from?
bro.
Yeah, I know. He's big on the numbers. He's fucking Rain Man. He's the Bible's Rain Man.
Dude, he looks like fucking Mr. Robot, too, in the show.
They picked, yeah, I know, and they picked a really good act. All of the actors do a really good job in this show. For something that you can watch for free, like non-HBO.
On
you know
YouTube,
what I mean?
bro. The first season's all on YouTube now.
Yeah, and then the Angel app lets you watch the entire thing for free when it comes out.
Not
They're
sponsored
doing,
yet, by the way.
Not sponsored. I would like to get sponsored by Angel. I really would.
Yeah, dude.
I really would. I would absolutely take that sponsorship in a heartbeat. You can give me $1. I don't care.
Yeah, dude. I'll say a prayer for him.
Hell yeah. Anyway. Come on.
My brothers across the world search for brave men to spare and recruit, but our power prohibits those very efforts. For what sane person would stand up to the Roman Empire?
I am sane.
Yes, but a very different kind of sane.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Hated. Everyone hates tax collectors. We're worse than the Romans. You were born Roman. I made a choice.
So go in disguise, I don't care. You can write, can't you?
Yes.
Write everything, every detail.
I keep track of things. I do it well. Quintus knows I do it well.
You're a little off, aren't you?
You should turn yourself in. We can accompany you.
Still pursuing every option.
There are none. You must provide the information implicating the guilty fishermen or balance the books somehow.
Andrew says anything's possible.
Not mathematically.
Yeah, but what if, you know?
You'll only be subjecting your family and friends to needless anguish by prolonging the inevitable.
These are other big words.
No one listens to me. Not like they do you. You have a singular talent.
That's something at least.
Can I assume you are not headed to the authorities?
Going fishing.
Variables. People are always adding variables. Does it change anything to know you only have until sunup?
Sunup.
I think that here's the other thing too, just on the Angel thing. I don't think so. Sound of Freedom is on there, and that's that is a movie about child rape and child trafficking. I think that my mouth would be the least that they have to worry about, and they're doing a second Sound of Freedom. So that's the thing. But back to this. Even in this scene, it's recognized that Matthew's a little bit of an oddball. Like he's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
He's weird. He's weird for the first century, and that can get pretty weird. I don't know if you know a lot about history. The first century was kind of weird for everybody. But anyway, does anybody have anything to say about this before I keep going?
Nope.
But Shabbat's not for 3 days.
Quintus is convinced you've double-crossed him. He's coming.
Can you pause this?
Yeah.
Quintus is convinced you've double-crossed him. Look at how much of a fucking dirty snake he is with his phrasing, considering he's the one who actually set it up. Yeah. Quintus is convinced that you've double-crossed him. What
Believe
a
it or not.
fucking dirty fucking prick this guy is. Holy shit. Thank God for Jesus. Jesus is great, man. Without him, we're fucking nothing.
Believe it or not, Quintus is actually where my name derives from.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Quintus means
you
fifth. And little known
are
fact.
you Italian?
I'm not Italian, but that's where the word actually derives from.
Why did your mother give you a Roman name? What is wrong with you?
I don't
What
know.
the fuck is the matter with somebody? Well, what the hell is even that?
Oh, what the hell is even that?
I'm going to name my kid Caesar.
You know what? If I was just thinking about it, and this is on topic, I think that they should give me a partnership.
Yeah.
Because I think that I could open the door for a lot of people to this kind of stuff that maybe aren't clean cut. And not only that, but we're literally watching a movie about a TV show, a clip from about a bunch of sinners who have done horrible things, some of which were assassins and tax collectors and people who narked on their own people. I mean,
Yeah, salt of the earth.
And not only that, but Jesus swore in the Bible. It wasn't the conventional swearing. He didn't say fuck, obviously. But I don't know if you know this, but to call somebody a viper is to in the first century AD is to infer that the common conception about vipers was they ate their way out of their mothers alive. From the inside out, from the womb.
All right.
It was a very offensive thing to say
Listen,
to somebody.
I need you to pull up John Ramsey's first comment that says, "Without Jesus, we're nothing." I want to make a very brief point, and then I would like to move on. I don't want to waste time on this. So when I say without Jesus, we're nothing, you got to understand the scope that I'm talking about. And by your statement, I'm going to guess that you don't. So, like, compared to God and compared to Jesus, we are nothing. Compared to Jesus Christ, I don't know who you are, John Ramsey. I don't know what you've done in your life, but you're literally nothing compared to Jesus Christ. And you can accept him into your heart, accept him into your life. So that means you can have him be a part of you, and you can just be better. You can be a part of his consciousness, so to speak. You can tap into his consciousness and act as much as you can like him. All right. So without Jesus, you're nothing, because the best human that's ever existed without Jesus is nothing. The best human that ever could exist without Jesus is nothing compared to Jesus. Yes, without Jesus, you're nothing. And if you don't think you are, you're a foolish, arrogant little human who hasn't been humbled yet, and you will be. God will humble you if you think that you can do anything in this world without him. That's what I've learned in my life.
I think I understand where he's coming from, though. But I'll tell you. Here we go. Okay,
it's not just Jesus as the person; it's Jesus the teachings. That's the real thing. Without the teachings of Jesus, we're nothing. If you don't follow his teachings, you're really not shit. Like, anybody can be a fucking savage that doesn't watch what they say, that's mean and just uses other people to make money. It's really easy to make money if you use other people as stepping stones. It's very difficult to go out in the fucking fields with your bare hands and pull up the fucking wheat to feed the whole village by yourself. That's much more difficult than going out there and peddling snake oil.
Yeah. What I found is that there are certain people who say they accept Jesus, but they don't really. It's one thing to say that you prayed to Jesus, but they never really did it in their heart. And I know because there are lots of people, cult members even, in our little group of people, like really devoted people now to Christ. There's people like that who said they believed in Jesus, but they really didn't. And then they had a moment. Something happened. Christ spoke to them. A miracle. They prayed, and Jesus answered their prayer. I mean, I know they say there's no atheists in foxholes, but that's not my experience. Is that ever? You know, like there definitely are. But I will say that most of these people who say I don't, well, in their moment of weakness say, God help me, Jesus help me, Lord protect me. You know, they'll say things like that. And I think
it's like human ego that gets in the way.
You have not had, John, you have not had your come to Jesus moment. And I think everybody has it at some point in their life if they're ever going to come to Jesus at all. It's not something, there's a lot of people who are just born into certain faiths. That's the way it is for a lot of Hindus, a lot of other Christians. This is what I was going to say. This is what I'm saying, though, is a former Christian of 26 years. It's hard that when you're born into a faith to really believe in anything. I'll be honest with you, because a lot of it is just going through the motions. Hey, look, Carl's still here. A lot of people saying that they have faith in Jesus Christ is just going through the motions, where it's like, well, you know, my mom was a Baptist, her mom was a Baptist, so I'm a Baptist. I go to a Baptist church. I follow the Baptist. What's the equivalent of catechism for Baptists? I don't even fucking know anymore. You know, we do the little thing with the wafer and the whole thing, but we don't believe
Communion.
it's literally. And they go through the communion.
We got a whole song and
communion
dance.
It's different. That's not exactly what I was talking about, but yeah. So they do the whole thing. They do the song and dance, but it's really just kind of a community thing, right? It's a sort of a third space. Is that what the secular term?
Like a book club, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's kind of a place for people to go every Sunday and compare clothing, and you see your friends there and people in your community, and you talk about that bastard down the road with the yapping dog that you'd like to shoot, you know, shit like that. And there's not really a whole lot of anything about Jesus. Like, you go to a church and you hear a sermon, but the pastor, the preacher, the priest, whatever, is not really there to help you strengthen your faith or find it or anything like that. He's just kind of there to read the fucking words on the page. And then he does like a whole little thing where he might talk about the passage itself and what he thinks it's supposed to mean. But really, it's just an opportunity for him to mentally masturbate to a group of captive individuals who are sort of almost there, and not out of their own volition or free will, but because it's just something they kind of do. You know, like wiping your ass or brushing your teeth. It's not exciting, but it is it's just maintenance shit.
Well,
right?
it's a lot better than having to actually put an effort and think and try and read the Bible on your own and try and come up with conclusions and ask questions. It's way easier to just go somewhere and listen to somebody flap their gums for 30 minutes straight, even though they could have made the same point in about 2 minutes. They just talk for 30 minutes because basically they need everybody to stare at them and hear their presence and their opinions instead of having a conversation about the Lord.
What a preacher does. Yeah,
I personally, what I think we do is we have conversations about the Lord, and I find that to be very powerful and meaningful because it allows me to hear how other people think, because I only know how to think through my brain, and I'm certainly not perfect, and I certainly don't know everything. So
Right,
there's significant
exactly.
value. This is the benefit that we have as human beings that they don't have as lions and tigers or bears or whatever, is that we can communicate and we can work together to solve problems to a higher degree than anything else in existence that we know of. And so the more that we do that, the better off we're gonna be. Because you got to think about it like this. It's like in sports, okay? If there's two teams that are going at each other, one team has got really great communication. They're on top of it. They're really working well together. And the other team, they don't really like each other. They're all arrogant and they all think they're better than everybody else. And they're kind of just fighting over attention on the court. Which team do you think is gonna probably win the game? You know, it's the one that's working together, right?
Couple things. I want to talk about faith for a minute. Dave, it's not open. It's just kind of us tonight. We might open it up in a little while, but I can't be here too much longer than we already have been. Yes, I know that's why you don't see a link. I want to talk about faith for a minute and the falling away. I think it happens to everybody at some point in their life that they fall away from what they think is faith. And just like if you're, for example, if you're having a hallucination because you've taken some kind of psilocybin or LSD or whatever, you've taken a drug, you hallucinate, in that moment it feels real. Just like in a dream, it feels real. So there's really not a whole lot of difference. But eventually you do have, for lack of a better word, a sobering moment where you come back, and then that's the last time you come back, and you never leave again. That's kind of how it works as far as I've seen it, for any kind of staying power as far as belief goes, as far as faith goes. And the Bible says that if you have faith as small as even a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. And then a mustard seed can become a tree, things like that. Now, mustard plants do not grow into trees, but that's kind of the point of the parable in and of itself too, is that with faith, with enough faith, even the smallest amount of faith, real faith, you can do anything through Jesus Christ. That in the Bible, repeatedly, it says it has been done according to your faith, not the preacher's faith, not the faith of your buddy who went to fucking Bible college, not anybody else's faith. Your faith in Jesus Christ can make things possible. If it's real faith and you have true, unshaken faith in any degree, you can do anything. Anything is possible. And Jesus Christ will answer your prayers. And insofar as, I guess, it doesn't interfere with the plan, but most of the time it doesn't, because God can just kind of move things around. But and some things are lead pipe cinch. Like, for example, I can't pray to Jesus and then wake up and fly the next day. But there are greater reasons for that, obviously, because he operates within reality. But as far as the human component is concerned, but we could get into that another time, because again, we're limited. So I imagine, yes, Smokey is on hiatus. He is resting his voice because he's losing it and he needs it for the 30th. Okay, that's the end of that. But anyway, I think. Do you
want to go on that point that you were the point that you were just making? I found a clip. I was talking to you about it earlier about the Roman Gentile who asked Jesus to heal. I found that and sent it to you if you want to put that up.
Yeah, we could do that. I just wanted to finish this.
Yep.
No, that's fine. I'll look at Discord in 1 second, because I just want to finish this thought. I know exactly how you fell away in your 20s. It's the same way that a lot of us fall away in our later adolescence, because I don't really think that humans are fully developed just because they're 18 years old. I think that there's a lot of development that happens post your secondary education. And I think that, obviously they say the brain isn't fully developed until you're like 25 or 26.
Can I share something you just made me think about that I think is a good representation of what you're talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you grow cannabis, okay, you take your seed or your little seedling and you put it in the ground, okay, and it starts to grow. And then when it's ready to harvest, you take it out of the ground, right? But you don't smoke it right away. First, you
Right.
have to dry it, and you have to prepare it and dry it, and then you actually have to put it into the proper storage containers and then cure it after the fact. So it's not just the full growth process that you have to do to get the finished product. There's 2 more additional steps after it. And it's like, I've spoken to I don't know if it's been on stream, but I've definitely spoken about like making a sword. You have to heat the metal up in the fucking furnace, and then you take it to the anvil and beat the shit out of it. And then it goes back in the furnace, and then you beat the shit out of it. And then you got to polish it. So it's like a multiple step thing. And like, especially with the way that our school system is set up to basically just treat you to be a factory worker, or rather train you to be a factory worker, which basically means you have no substance. Then by the time you're 20 years old, you basically have no value to bring to the marketplace. If you are just going by like the common general education system.
If you like the horticulture metaphors, it's kind of like broccoli, actually. Not a lot of people grow anything anymore, so maybe some people won't get this, but I do. And so you when you grow broccoli, the first flowers, the first broccoli floret that comes up on the actual plant, you think that that's broccoli. It's actually not. It's just the first flowers. And what you actually have to do is you have to cut that floret off and let it grow back for it to grow like broccoli you see in the supermarket. And sometimes our path to God and Christ is a lot like that, where we have to do something that seems kind of antithetical. It seems kind of contradictory or confusing to get the results that ultimately we desire. And sometimes that means falling away so that we can come back. Right? Because God, Jesus, rejoices more for the lamb that strayed and returned than he does for an entire flock that stayed the whole time. And that's the way it is. And so you'll stray. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I'm getting a horticulture fucking lesson in the side chat. That's neat. Anyway, you will stray, but you will come back, and God will rejoice in it. He cares about all of us, but the most he cares about is the one that went away and came back.
Well, that's interesting because I've heard it said that we are created in God's image, and that's literally what humans look for in any kind of story or character. Is there's nothing more satisfying than seeing an underdog come from behind, storied, rise up to be a champion. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah,
right? Like look at
God
Rocky or yeah. Well, I mean, we imitate him, you know? That's kind of why, like I was talking about earlier when I said, like, we're nothing without Jesus. Like, all the things that make us anything are the teachings of Jesus. So it's like, it's all natural. If you literally don't even need to, like, you can literally just observe the way that things operate in our natural universe, and you can see the presence of God. Like, I don't know if I brought this point up before, but it's very important. You have to consider the likelihood of life existing, of you existing at this current point in time. First of all, as far as I know, and as far as I've seen with science, there's no life anywhere else in the fucking universe except for our planet. That's a strange coincidence. Obviously, it couldn't have been God. It must have been a random chance that we were the perfect distance from the sun to have an ozone and a perfect environment for life and to not be burned alive and to actually have organisms and ecosystems and like mitochondria to join the cells if you're a science guy and you believe that. Like all of these perfect
is actually an interesting conversation too.
There's so many perfect circumstances that had to be met for life to exist, considering the fact that we can't see life on anything else in the observable universe, and that's pretty fucking bigger than you've ever seen with your two eyes as a human being. And so to make a claim that it just all this stuff randomly happened and then it couldn't possibly be God is the most foolish, outlandish thing I've ever heard in my fucking life.
I had a conversation once with an atheist, and the conversation went something like this. So I said, so you believe that everything came from nothing, which of course I won't get into it whether I actually believe that they believe that or not, but that's what I said. So you believe everything came from nothing. And they said, No, nothing can't make nothing, so that it must have been something. So it's a something that was forever before that. Before there was everything, there was something. And then it was like, yes, there was the singularity. It was everything was in a singularity and it existed forever in so much as time, like Planck time and blah, blah, blah. It went on like that. I was like, okay, because that kind of sounds like God. It kind of sounds like God pre-Genesis, as far as we know it. And the conversation ended. He called me a retard and left. So that's how that conversation went. And to your point, anyway.
John made another comment here, which, by the way, John, I gotta say, buddy, I'm pretty happy to see that you're having a rational conversation. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, but part of the reason that I kept you in chat was because it makes it easier to think about what you want to say before you say it. So I feel like that's way more productive. Makes better people. Makes for better conversation.
I want to actually make a point on what he said there, though. He said, I totally accept the possibility that God created the universe. It's not illogical. I just don't see a reason to positively believe that it was created as opposed to being eternal. Well, whether it was eternal or not is irrelevant to the question. I don't even think, like, first of all, as a human being, you don't even understand what eternal is. Like, you don't understand what infinite or eternal is. You might think you do, and you probably do, but the reality is that you don't. Like, for example, if I asked you to close your eyes, in fact, I'd like all of us to do this little experiment. Just close your eyes for about 15 seconds, and I want you to picture 3 red apples in front of you. Okay? You can probably do that. Now I want you to picture 1 million apples, exactly 1 million, not one less, not one more. Perfect apples, red apples, 1 million of them in your mind. And so you can't do that. You can't actually picture 1 million exact apples. You might have a group of apples, but I guarantee you it's not exactly 1 million. And so that's just 1 million. Like, that's not even that big of a number. It's a big number compared to what our tiny human brains can handle, but it's not really that big of a number. And so basically what I'm trying to say is that what you said there did not take away from my point at all of the perfection of everything needed to be this exact way for life to exist. That does not matter. In the eternal doesn't matter with what I said there. That is a separate point and a separate conversation we can get into, but I think it's irrelevant and it doesn't matter I don't think that matters at all. What I'm simply stating is that just going off of statistics alone, because I've talked to a lot of those like autistic math wizards and they love their numbers, the likelihood of you existing, of life existing, is so infinitesimally small that you literally have better odds of probably winning the lottery every day for the rest of your life. To be completely honest with you, like, that's how infinitesimally small the odds of us to have these perfect conditions, because there's a lot of things that play into life existing. It's not just, we have oxygen and that's all we need. Like, no, there has to be a perfect symbiotic ecosystem across the entire world. Would you say that it's impossible for subconscious and inanimate laws of physics can I don't even know what the hell that I don't understand that question. So you're going to have to rephrase that for me.
I'll take a look at it in a minute, because I'm kind of curious myself. I'm having the AI figure out what the approximate odds of life emerging on any given planet is.
Yeah, I used what's the term? Hyperbole. I over exaggerated, but it's still like a really, really. You definitely have better odds of winning the lottery, and you have better odds of getting struck by lightning. I'm almost 100% sure on that.
Here we go. It's thinking.
Yeah, math, bro. I'm glad it can do that for me.
Like, oh God, this is a huge. This is like a Lagrangian. It's huge.
Yeah. You're probably just gonna have to count the commas or like the zeros. John Ramsey, I think that if you think that the world alone is just a physical form and physical things, I think that the laws of physics exist in the physical realm and the physical world. I just think that there's more to life than just the physical realm. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
here is the actual math. I'm not going to give the whole thing, just the. There we go. And that's a number that you couldn't even wrap your fucking head around. So 0.0001%.
And that's just for life emerging. That's not for you existing in this time period of peace.
Yeah, and there's about 100 billion stars. And then how many stars actually have actual planets orbiting them? And then what planets are in the Goldilocks zone? So that, and how many of those have a rotational speed that actually, and then not only that, but you're going to need a moon that isn't tidally locked. And you're going to need a whole lot of shit. A lot of shit needs to work.
And that's just for the conceptualization of life that we have. There could be entirely different I should say, like life forms that exist in the universe that operate completely differently than we do. Perhaps they don't use oxygen and water as their main resources.
Right, you're right. A galaxy has about 100 billion stars. I'm sorry, I read that incorrectly.
That's a lot. Yeah, and all those are bigger than the Earth, right? Stars, they're all pretty big.
Yeah, and there's more galaxies, or there's less galaxies than there are stars, but for a galaxy with about 100 billion stars, that suggests billions of candidates. That's what it says. And it's got citations here too. So, and then it goes into Fermi paradox and all this other shit. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about. A number that you couldn't possibly fucking conceive, because all the word eternal is a symbol. Really, it could be a literal like symbol, like a squiggle on a page.
Well, it's like pi. Pi is literally an infinite number that you could not wrap your head around.
Right, and the point is that there is no point. It's because that's what it is. Eternal is just a concretion standing in for an abstraction. And the word and the concept of eternal is so abstract to the human mind that it might as well not exist. But it does, I guess, in some context. Obviously, the context we're talking about with Jesus and God and everything. So,
yeah, it's just the thing is that it's not the context that it's in is a shallow use of the word. Like it's not the actual use of it. It's just the highest form that we can conceptualize as a life form of a human being, which is just not a very high life form if you really think about it, considering the fact that we still have to live as a slave to the cycle of consummation, of consuming.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I'm not used to using more than 1% of my brain for anything.
Can you guys hear me?
I can now, yeah.
For fuck's sake, finally, dude. I've been talking for like a fucking hour and I didn't know you guys couldn't hear me.
Nope, couldn't hear a fucking word you were saying, buddy. Why, did you have something insightful?
I forgot what I was saying, but I was trying to...
No, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well.
It's okay. Say Christ is Lord.
Christ is Lord.
There you go. Everybody in chat say Christ is Lord. We haven't had a Christ is Lord in a while. I'm feeling left out. I think we could continue with this now. Unless you wanted to watch the other clip.
No, either or is good. I'm happy. By the way, just the one thing I will say is the man on the screen right now is Simon Peter.
Okay.
Just for context.
I'm still going fishing.
Tell yourself that you have no feasible plan.
I told you my plan. If I'm going down, it will be doing what God bid me to do. Tell your boss he can come get me off the water.
Matthew. Matthew, son of
This is a good point. It's not the afterlife that we're after. And it's not any God. And it's not the spiritual things that we're after. And it's not the convincing. Because there's a common euphemism that people say all the time, but they get it completely wrong. People say the proof is in the pudding, but the proof of the pudding is actually in the eating. That's how the saying goes. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. And until you have the pudding in front of you and you actually eat it, it's just it's purely conceptual. It's hypothetical pudding, matter of factly. And you have to have that experience before you can believe, because humans are made to question everything all the time, and we get so wrapped up in our feelings. Like, for example, there are people out there who look at people like, we'll just use trans people as an example. They look at trans people and they feel this thing for this person. They see this person who is hurting, who is confused, lost, either justly or unjustly, verifiably or unverifiably. Somebody who very clearly has problems, lots and lots of problems, and they want to help them. And the only way that most people know how to reach out to somebody who is going through something like that is to just validate their feelings. But again, it's the broccoli metaphor. You can't just do that. That's not helpful. It's not good to see somebody who's doing the wrong thing, who's going the wrong direction, and telling them they're not on their way to a slaughterhouse. They're on their way to happiness. That's not how anything works. And I know it's hard. I know it hurts. I know it seems mean and cruel. But sometimes we have to tell people to do things that for them in that moment seem hurtful before we can help them become what they're supposed to be. The metaphorical broccoli. And I know that we're getting a lot into metaphors and euphemisms, but this is just how my brain thinks. This is this is how I communicate. Jesus communicates through parables. I communicate through metaphors. It's just what I do. Take it or leave it. Call me autistic. I am. It doesn't matter. The point is that I know that you've been trying for years. I know it. But I personally, I believe that if you continue to try and you really, really, really want to believe in Jesus, it's not that you'll just suddenly believe, but that Jesus will enter your life and make himself known to you. And the other uncomfortable thing about this is when we're in sin, we tend to attract other people who are also comfortable in their sin, that don't want to change, that want to do the thing that seems easy and say, yes, take that drug. Yes, drink to excess. Yes, go ahead and goon to OnlyFans and spend your whole fucking paycheck every week on some girl that you'll never fucking meet that doesn't give a fuck about you. I know that we want to do that. I know that it feels like that. But we surround ourselves with people who make it very difficult to leave that box, because that's what the devil wants. The devil can't win. He's not winning. When it comes to judgment, it's over. It's fucking over already. He cannot win. But what he can do is he can take as many people down with him, because he's a fucking narcissist. That's how the devil works. And so we surround ourselves with people who look at us and say, yes, it may seem to you like you're doing everything wrong, and convince you, because they're trying to convince themselves, because what they really need to do is hard and painful and difficult and depressing. They convince you that you're doing the right thing so they can convince themselves somehow. They play psychological gaslighting tricks on themselves. I drink the Kool-Aid. Here, you drink the Kool-Aid, and then I'll drink some more fucking Kool-Aid, and then we'll all be dead. Who will give a fuck? I understand. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's that Christ enters everyone's life at very specific points. And it's hard to hear that because a lot of us just want to have it. Well, it'd be nice if I had $1 million fucking dollars, but if I don't sit down and make a plan to make $1 million, I'm never going to have $1 million fucking dollars. That's the way it is. And again, I'm not coming from a place where I want anybody to be upset by what I'm saying, but I understand that what I'm saying is fucking upsetting. Okay? And there's people out there who claim to be Christians who will tell you that you need to do nothing to be saved. Not a goddamn thing. And that's not true. That's bullshit. That's bullshit because you do need to believe. And Jesus Christ, forgive your brother. There are things that you need to do. And I'm not saying that you will or won't get into heaven because guess what? I'm not God. I know I kind of look like it with that long hair when I had it, but I'm not. And I don't know everything. And the same person who tells you need to do nothing to be saved doesn't know either. Doesn't know a goddamn thing. And these people piss me off because there are people out there who are very fucking impressionable who they talk to, people with mental illnesses that they lead astray for no good reason. They say, "Oh, common grace." Well, that's great. But what about kids and shit?
If I could talk just for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just fired up.
You have the comment over my face.
I'm sorry.
So I haven't really shared much of my testimony online.
Well, neither do I. It's becoming inevitable at this point.
But one of the things that I will share is Will had been trying to, show me back to the Christian path because I was Christian when I was a kid. When I turned about 17 or actually about 18, I left the faith. But I've been going through a rough patch those last few years. Some of you guys know. And one of the things that I was really stressed out about and was freaking out that it was the worst thing was going to happen was my little brother when he was going to trial. I was texting Will. I'm like, every fucking day, I'm like, dude, he's going to go to prison. He's going to go to prison. He's going to go to prison. I don't know what to do. And Will hit me back with, dude, just pray about it. We're going to pray for you and your brother. And then the next day, the trial came up and my brother had called me. And he was just like, hey, man, I'm not going to prison. And that, among some other things.
If 2 or more of you gather together in my name and pray, it shall be done. It has been done according to your faith. Go ahead.
And a few other things besides that kind of led me back to believing again. And, I'm not a perfect Christian by any means. But one thing that I can say is, like, if you're on the fence, and you don't know whether to believe or not, do your own research, look into it yourself. Don't just buy into what everybody in the world tells you about Christianity. Yeah, there are things that people will tell you that are negative, and they'll try to convince you that you shouldn't believe because of the negatives. But like anything in life has negatives, there's not a negative in believing in Jesus. There's really not.
Can I say something? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I would actually.
I'm about to light myself on fire again here because I'm kind of in the zone.
I don't think actually there is anything negative with Jesus or his teachings whatsoever, to be completely honest with you. There might be some perversions in like churches, like the Pope that hides pedophiles and shit, obviously.
Right.
But Jesus himself and his teachings, he's literally the perfect human and he does everything the right way. He's literally, Lady Avon was saying like, she didn't know like what to believe with God and everything. And it's like literally Jesus is the only Lord worth serving and believing in because of how he lives, how he lived, his teachings, everything he talks about. Like everybody else is basically just a fucking barbarian. That's like a human being that's like low level. But Jesus, like he could have like obliterated all his enemies. He could have just ruled the world. He could have just been the king of the fucking world, made all of you his slaves, made me his slave. And there's not anything we could have done about it. But instead, he literally he knew fucking ahead of time that he was going to get betrayed by one of his fucking people. And then he let him nail him to a fucking cross and he slowly bled to death. And here's a newsflash, because I'm wagering that most of you have never experienced any real pain. But taking a nail in your fucking hand is very painful, let alone one in each wrist and then in your fucking ankles. So
Ray
it's like
has actually had a nail go through his fucking hand. So
I've had multiple. I've had multiple, bro. Multiple. It's not pleasant. And so basically, what I'm trying to say is, what I would suggest to you, Lady Avon, and anybody else is seek to understand Jesus. Seek to love him. The rest of the stuff will follow. That's what I was going to say is something I've really discovered recently through watching The Chosen. As I love Jesus. Like the way he acts, the way he talks, everything he does, his teachings. Like there's literally nothing for me to not love about him. I absolutely love that he's trying to bring together people and trying to save the world, and he heals people and he resurrects the dead. Like he does good work. He does good things versus like fucking little pedophile Muhammad. All he did is the only miracle I ever saw a little pedophile Muhammad ever do was he pointed at the moon allegedly and split it. But there's no split in the moon now. And that's all he did. So if he had the power to split the moon, but he didn't heal anybody, he didn't perform any fucking miracles on the planet, he's not worth serving. He's got power, but he doesn't use it to help his people. That's not somebody worth serving. That's not somebody worth praising as a Lord. Jesus Christ is the only one worth praising as a Lord because he is a leader. He acts as he's supposed to, as the King of Kings. You're supposed to care about your people. A true king is somebody that puts his own kingdom before himself, because without his kingdom thriving, he's going to fall flat on his face. He won't have anything in his coffers unless all the serfs are doing well and they have crops and produce. So it's like your choice is to either believe that everything randomly happened, that you won the lottery of existence, or you believe in Jesus because everybody else is just not worth fucking serving. They're little low-level clowns that are fucking degenerate barbarians that only seek to serve themselves and their own power trip.
I want to help.
Yeah.
I want to help give Lady Avon some direction.
Okay.
Because I think that my own personal experience will inform her trajectory.
Can I say one more thing really quick?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'm going to go on my diatribe for a minute.
Yep. I just seen her comment that says, I don't know how to flip that belief switch. I want to. I really want to, but my brain won't cooperate. Stop trying to do that. Don't do that. You don't need to do that.
Yeah,
Like
I'm actually going to explain exactly how that's going to happen for her. I don't.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let you just take it from here. Go ahead and take it from here, bro.
Okay. So what I wanted to say is that for my entire life, I felt like a servant, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way. I meant like I felt like I was meant to serve people. And I started with, like, for example, I worked at Hess when it was still a gas station. I gave my homeless man my entire paycheck. And this was back when I was an atheist. And I thought, well, I'm just going to spend it on fucking weed and video games anyway. So I might as well give it to him. Give him the whole fucking thing. And that's a long story. Not going to get into it. There's other stuff if you want to hear about it. Different podcast. And I wasn't doing it for anyone. I didn't tell anyone. The only reason anybody found out about it was because he started living in the fucking bathroom at the gas station, which is the long story. And so I've always felt like a servant. And then I thought, well, I would do charity. So I went and I tried to help people in my community. And that didn't do it for me. So I just kept continuing to follow this path. Like I felt like the universe or God or whatever would have a plan for me at different stages in my life. I believe various things about where this purpose came from. And I just let it point me in the direction. So whatever you feel like you have to do, whatever you think your purpose in life is, you should start to follow that and then temper it. Temper it with what does the Bible say later on. Just start that. You can't start a journey if you don't start walking. You're not going to do anything being stationary. You're not going to lose any weight by not working out. Your body is not going to cooperate with you just because you will it to. It takes time and steps. And the thing is that God, I believe personally that God has a purpose for each and every person in the world. And their purpose, if you betray that purpose, then you will never find Jesus. You have to start walking in the direction that God has pointed you in, because I'm sure you feel like there's something you're supposed to do. And you just have to start walking in that direction, and the path will become slowly more clear to you. Because at first I thought it was to help people, and then that's why I got involved in the career that I'm in, helping severely mentally and physically disabled people. And then later on I found out that with my words and a community of people who are trustworthy and a team, a real team of people who are like-minded in all the ways that matter. Not in ideology as far as politics go, not even necessarily in religion, but just the general idea that we're supposed to do something. Once you start walking in that direction, the path will be made clear to you. If you just try to have a little faith, that faith will continue to grow over time. If you and here's the thing. I found this community, I found these people, and I said, okay, get in the boat. And some people don't see why other people are in my boat, but they are, because I believe that God and Jesus Christ put these people in my path for a reason. Now, whether it's a learning experience or if the person actually should be in the boat that's going to actually pull their weight and row with me so that we can find shore somewhere, is a totally separate thing. But I think that Lady Avon is in my path because she needs to hear what I have to say tonight and other podcasts going forward, or in private conversations, or maybe I don't even know, possibly even in real life at some point. I think that I'm here to help point people in the correct direction.
You know,
and everything in my life that has led up to this point and will lead up to every other point has dragged me in the same direction to the point where it is undeniable.
You know, if I could, one thing that I'll say is, like, yeah, we talk a lot of shit about people. You know what I mean? Like, we're not innocent of that. Like, we go after dumb people all the time, but like most
Speak
of the
for
time,
yourself, bro. That might have been the past, but I certainly am not identifying with that.
I was
going
more
forward.
talking about like me and Will. Like, we clown on stupid people a lot, but like when it comes to talking,
because maybe that's what we needed to do to get you in my path, and then get you in the fucking boat. Maybe that's just what you needed to hear. I have a feeling that the things I say to specific people are what they need to hear in that moment that'll point them in the right direction. That's what I think.
Can I say something for you guys to think about and give me your thoughts on?
Yeah, just one more thing, and it's very, very quick. Jesus Christ, over and over in the Bible, says, come and see. Well, you have to come before you see. That sounded really dirty. I'm going to come. You do. So just, Lady Avon, just start walking, and I'm here for you if you need me, just like I've always been. You and I don't agree on anything really politically else or religiously or anything like that, but we get along perfectly. And I think it's for a reason. And I think you know me at this point. So I will absolutely be here for you if you need anything at all, as I am with all of my friends, really, I think at this point. Okay, go ahead.
All right,
Sorry.
so I'm gonna do a big gift for all of you and empower all of you right now. I'm gonna give you the $1 trillion wisdom right here. Okay, so pay attention, everybody, because you could all use it. To be completely honest with you, so I'm gonna say something, and I want you to relate it to the conversation you just had about you and people being in your path. Okay, the flap of a butterfly's wings here can cause a tsunami on the other side of the world. Now, I want you to relate that to the conversation we just had and what you were just talking about, and trying to tell me why I'm connecting those two and why I say it's empowering. What can you derive from that?
It's a chain of causality. Everything affects everything else.
Well, what I really am implying is that you directly impact the future, and you don't have to think on large scale. It's actually better for you to focus on the micro than it is to focus on the macro. So instead of looking at this big adventure of I need to find my belief don't do that. Just try to understand Jesus. Let me rephrase that. Just seek to understand Jesus. Don't try to do it. Like, if you actually are interested in it, then I would really take the time to understand his journey and try to like really put yourself in his shoes. Like, try to feel what he felt, because it's worse than anything that most humans have ever felt. Like, what he had to go through.
There are people out there who plot career paths, right? And they think that before they have kids, they want to have this secure and that secure, and they want to have this, and they want to be published, and they want to make partner, and they want to have their doctorate and whatever. They want to have all these things before they have kids, but that's not actually how parenthood works. You have the kids, and along the way, you build the stuff. That's not how, and that's what a lot what it's like with faith in Jesus Christ and the whole shebang. And you're gonna find it. You're gonna find it on your way. You're gonna find it halfway through the journey, or 3/4 of the way, or even 99.99999 repeating fucking percent of the way through your journey. You might find it on your fucking deathbed, but if you're looking for it, you'll find it. Seek and find. That's the way it is.
You know, and like I saw something from Ebola. I think that's their name. Sometimes it hurts, but that's how it has to work. Pain and truth are better than lies and false comfort. And I do agree with that, because like, when I was talking about like recovery and addiction things, like sometimes you need to tell someone, like, if you're, not just with Christ, but like example, I came to Will when I got off meth. He was the first person I fucking told. I was like, dude, listen, I've been fucking up. I've been doing meth and I want to get clean. And he goes, what the fuck were you thinking? That was like the first fucking thing he said was, why the fuck would you do meth? And, he didn't bullshit me. He's like, oh no, it's fine. You're going to be okay. And I don't think if I would have heard that, I don't think if I would have, actually talked to Will, I don't think I would have got sober. And it's not because like, oh, Will's this great and powerful person, but no, like anytime I'm going through something, or, vice versa, Will comes to me about something, the first thing that he and I do is we sit down, we get this shit out of the way, and then we talk about what we can do to fix things, and I think the biggest thing that a lot of people don't want to hear is straight up like, this is what this is what you need to do, this is how you're going to fix it. And, when you bullshit people or when you sugarcoat the reality of things that you're in, you're not going to get out of it. And one of the things that, like, as a newer Christian again, that I've been, kind of looking at is like, God puts things in our path that he knows we can handle. And it may not be the most comforting thing. That sometimes life's going to fucking suck. Like, he's going to test you on things, like I think in the last few years, that's kind of what I've been going through, is just trials and to put me back in faith, because, what was it, a year, Will? Like a year you've been working on me for like nonstop about this, I want to say. And
I believe that you could do it. I mean, that's kind of how the cult thing went too. There were a lot of people that didn't think that you were going anywhere, and that's not a fault of anybody else. It's just people saw what they saw, and they didn't see the whole person. But I want to make a point of this too, because there are quite a few people in here that I have asked absolutely nothing of and given everything I have to. Time, money, patience, everything. Every fucking thing. Years of my life I have spent talking to these people, doing things, every goddamn thing. Everything.
Hey, thank you, man. You've done a lot for me, Will, so I really wanted to thank you, man. You just really made me think about that. I really appreciate you.
I appreciate it, but that's not why I said that. What I'm saying is, if more people acted like that, then you would probably have more people come. Maybe I'm the tool that some people need to hear, and maybe there are other people who talk differently that need to hear it a different way. They need to have scripture quoted at them. But I find that a lot of these people, especially on these YouTube channels, that will basically preach to the converted. And I am not after the 99. I'm after the one. I'm after the one that strayed. I'm not interested in. If you're in the faith and you're actively seeking, that's great. You don't need my fucking help. You don't. And
Right.
I don't want you to, you would be wasting everyone's time.
Well, I wouldn't say
and
it's a
my
waste,
time and
but
your time.
like,
No, but it's not a waste. But what I'm saying is, I'm not the one for you, if that's what we're doing. I'm
you know,
looking
another
for
thing.
people genuinely want to believe who were abandoned by modern Christianity to stupid bullshit. Stupid minutia bullshit made salvific because somebody wanted to have a bigger dick than somebody else. Like this young earth creationist horse shit. Right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, the earth is 6,000 years old, and if you don't believe that exactly, then you don't believe the Bible, and you don't believe in God, and you're not saved, and you go to hell if you don't believe that the flood literally happened, and that Noah's Ark and Garbage Island and the koalas floated on fucking bamboo fucking surfboards. That's bullshit. That's nonsense.
You know, and
the same thing for the people who say, oh, the earth rested on four pillars, must be fucking flat. Well, I hate to tell you this, but that's not how the sunrise works.
you know, if you want to know,
Hold on. And then they make it a salvific issue. And what I mean by that, for everybody who doesn't understand, is they make it seem like you can't be saved by Jesus Christ if you don't believe that the earth is flat and 6,000 years old. That's fucking nonsense. That's
Exactly.
Jesus Christ did not come to earth to give a fucking geography or a biology lesson. That's not what Christianity is about. And if you think that's what it's about, open your fucking Bible. And
You know,
you
and
might
another-
as well just skip Genesis, because apparently all that shit went over your head anyway.
and another thing is, like, if you're on the fence, you know, about believing or not, and you might be thinking, well, God doesn't want me because of this thing or this thing or this thing. That's not true. You know, like somebody might tell you that, like, oh, you can't get saved until you stop doing this, or you stop like that. You can get saved. The thing is, when you become saved, you become Christ. You're trying to become Christ-like, and that doesn't happen overnight. I promise you that doesn't. I don't give a shit what anybody wants to tell you. I don't care if the Pastor Pete down the fucking street wants to tell you that if you have to be perfect the minute
Little
you get
Peter.
saved. That's bullshit. You know,
Oh,
like,
yeah, Peter.
you know, one
I
of the
almost
things
forgot
that
about Peter.
one of the things that I've been working on is for myself is judging other people. You know, like I'm not perfect. I can't make a call that someone else isn't Christian because they act a certain way or they believe in this. But like if someone's not acting like a Christian, you can tell. Like, you know,
Well, first you have to
people-
know what the fuck a Christian is, I will say.
in my definition of Christianity, a Christian is someone who believes that Jesus died for your sins, rose 3 days later, and you accept him into your heart. When you do that, you're a Christian. Like, you can dress fancy, you could dedicate hours upon hours of working with orphanages, charities, and all this other shit. That doesn't mean you're a Christian. That doesn't mean that you're getting into heaven.
I have
you
another
just-
thing. I have another thing that I'm thinking of that I really have to get out, or I'll forget it, and it's very important.
Go for it.
There's a lot of people who won't observe Christianity again, give it a second look, because they're afraid that they'll be called a flip-flopper. And I know, because I've been a lot of things on the internet, and I know people are probably saying it now. Fake this, fake that, fake everything, right? I don't give a shit about that, and I don't think you should give a shit about it either. If you're serious, this is not other people's fucking walk. This is your walk. Just go do it. Fuck them. Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
And by the
put
way,
one foot in
there's a
front of
group
the
of
other.
people here that will absolutely have your back every single fucking day, because that's what we've cultivated over here. We will absolutely have your back. You fuck up, you backslide, you have doubts. We're fucking here. There are people. And even if you didn't have that, fuck us too. Fuck us too, because Jesus Christ cares. And that's
Exactly.
all that matters.
Yep.
So fuck everything.
When
even.
in doubt, reach to the Lord. When in doubt, pray to the Lord. You can never go wrong by praying to the Lord. That's what I believe.
Yeah, like, dude, you know, like one of the things that somebody tried to tell me the other day was, oh, you're not a real Christian if you don't go to church every Sunday. That's bullshit. Like, right now we're having church. We're all three.
It's your
talking
this is
about
the
Jesus.
important thing. When you were talking earlier, Q, you didn't mention this, and it's not a fault. I think this is what you were really trying to say. I'm using different words, and this is the same comment I put in. It's you have to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. That's the important thing. Like believing that he died and he was resurrected, like none of that really matters. I don't think. I think what really matters is that you act as much like Jesus Christ as you can. That's the important thing. Obviously, you need to believe in Jesus as well. But if you act like Jesus and then you have let's say you have no idea about Jesus at all, but you're acting just like him, you're doing a good thing. You're doing the right thing.
I
what
still
I mean?
I don't think, well, let me say something about that really quick. I don't think Jesus would have gotten up on some 2x4s and been nailed and hang there for a couple of days if it wasn't important for him to be crucified. But that's just maybe it's neither here nor there, but it was just something I was thinking about. I feel like the whole thing is important. Especially
absolutely. It tells a very important message about how important and impactful our own choices and what we have to be willing to give up. This is something I was going to say earlier during your diatribe, but I didn't want to interrupt you. It's in order to gain everything, first you have to give everything up. And that is such a very profound thing to really think about and try to wrap your head around. And what it essentially means and what it means to me and what I would try to say in relation to Lady Avon or anybody else is you need to let go of trying to control things in your life because you can't. You have control over pretty much nothing other than like the thoughts that you give power to and the words that you speak.
So
you really don't have any control. And so what you can do is, since you do have control over the thoughts that you think and the words you choose to speak, you can choose to focus on the thoughts that are going to be in your best interest.
You know, one of the things, and I'm going to tie this into what you were saying, one of the things that is taught in AA and NA especially is, you know, accepting the things that you can't change and doing your best to change the things you can. And also like giving yourself up to a higher power. And a lot of people, you know, they contribute that to Jesus or something else. And one of the things that I especially have been trying to do is Will can tell you, I am a fucking huge ball of anxiety. Like there's things going on in the next week or two that I've been worrying about for the last month. And, you know, Will's always telling me like, hey man, don't worry. It's taken care of. It's this, and that. And when I start to worry about it, I pray about it, like real shit. Like I've been praying like, hey God, please let this go smoothly. You know, if this isn't the plan, show me the plan that you want for me. No one in life is going to have a perfect walk, right? It's not possible. All of us fuck up. We all fall short of the glory of God. That's just basically how it is. But accepting that, and, you know, when you're a newer Christian, like I've been labeled, you know, one of the things that you find is, you know, listen to don't just listen to like everybody telling you like you have to do this for Christ, you have to do that. Like, talk to God, like ask him what he wants for your life, and I promise you he'll show you.
In a non-performative way, by the way, because there's a lot of people out there, especially on the internet, that do it as a performative act for clout, for views, for a paycheck. Bullshit. I ain't getting paid shit for this. There's no ads. There's no fucking coffee brand coffee. Nothing. There's no link in the description. It's just StreamYard put something there that we'll talk about at the very end. But it's just what it is.
What you made me think about, Q, what you made me think about is that I'm going to speak from my own experience, and you guys, everyone might be able to relate. I'm not sure because I've never lived your lives. I thought there was going to be a point where I felt ready, where I felt like it was going to be easier, where I felt like I was going to be strong enough to be able to handle anything. And the reality is that it never gets fucking easier. It never gets fucking easier. You just get better. You just get better at taking the fucking bullets, at trudging through the fucking mud, at eating the piles of shit. Because that's the reality is that's the path you have to take with the Lord, with Jesus Christ. They literally fucking killed him for his teachings. And the entire world is a profit-driven fucking hedonistic machine. So basically, when you choose Jesus Christ, you're choosing the opposite of our current society. So strap in for the fucking fight of your life. But it's kind of worth it because your other choice is to basically burn in hell for all of eternity, which you should if you choose the alternative, because the alternative is essentially using people as cash cows to milk them and throw them away when you can't get any more milk out of them. You could think of like the pharmaceutical industry as an example. Whatever you want to say now.
And the thing is that God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, their kingdom is not of this earth, and neither are your rewards.
Yeah.
First of all, you shouldn't be worried about rewards. That's not the point. The point is wanting to serve God in the way that you were designed to serve God. And with that will come fruits. And that's the way that is. But I will tell you, the kingdom of the devil is here. The kingdom of the devil is of this earth. And you know why pricks live forever? It's because in the same way that Jesus looks out for his flock, so does the fucking devil. They get theirs in the end. They all go to hell, right? But that's why all these fucking horrible pieces of shit live such luxury. Again, this is another verse from the Bible, and I can't tell you which one it is. I'm sure if Smokey's in chat, he'll tell you.
Speaking of which,
but it is easier for a fucking camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven, and that's because there's no way to get rich legitimately. There's no way to get obscene. I'm not talking about $1 million even. I'm talking about billions of dollars, like some of these
Bill Gates
people
money.
have. Yes, Bill Gates money. There's no way to acquire that much wealth without exploiting millions of people. So I'm just saying. I don't mean to sound like a Marxist, but it's true. It's just the way.
I really need you to
and
pull
you
up
can
in
either
that
live
clip.
with that, or
I need you to pull up in that clip that I posted. I sent it in Discord and private. It's really powerful, and it's exactly what we're talking about right now. We've talked about it before.
Play this clip.
Real quick, I do have a Bible verse that I was.
Well, I'm telling you really quickly here. I'm going to play this clip, and then we're going to start rapping because I do have to be up at 5 o'clock in the fuck me in the ass morning. So I'm gonna.
It's only a 2-minute clip, so it won't be long.
I want to do this. Then Quentin is going to talk, and then I have to do a few wrapping up things here. I got a prayer, and then I have a detail about podcast going forward that's changed totally unexpectedly. And then Smokey wrote some poetry that I told them that I would read at the end. And then Ray, if you want to close with a prayer, or anybody else wants to close with
sure.
We do have to wrap because I do have a shitload of stuff to do tomorrow on top of my 5 a.m. trip to doesn't matter where. Anyway, moving on.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. I mean, it's not like you even know who I am. You prayed and believed your whole life. Never done anything wrong. And here you are. You're the nicest person I know. I am the meanest. You have dementia. My life is perfect. Explain that to me.
Sometimes the devil allows people to live a life free of trouble because he doesn't want them turning to God. Their sin is like a jail cell, except it's all nice and comfy and there doesn't seem to be any need to leave. The door's wide open. Till one day, time runs out. The cell door slams shut. And suddenly, it's too late. Who did you say you were?
She didn't even recognize her own son. But she had that to spit.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when that movie came out, it wasn't it was kind of shit on, especially because it was the heat of the Atheism Plus days.
Yeah.
But I should probably give that movie a second look because
It's pretty good.
It looks like it might be good. Yeah.
I think Kevin Sorbo's the teacher.
I have two Bible
Yeah.
verses, if that's
Go ahead.
So the first one, it was kind of what I was talking about God not giving you any more than you can handle, and that's 1 Corinthians 10:13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. And then the other one I wanted to read was John chapter 15:18. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but ye are not of the world. But I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Remember the word that I have said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. So to the Christians out there that are watching, just remember, like, God will never give us anything more than we can handle. And when we are walking in his path, people are going to hate us. Like, they're not going to listen to what we have to say. They're going to tear us down. They're going to make us feel less than them. And that's because they did that to Jesus. So just remember, anybody that is looking to be saved or is on that fence, just know, like, there's nothing that's going to stop you from accepting Jesus into your heart. There's nothing that can stop you from being a Christian if that's actually what you want.
It probably means you're on the right path if you have people that are trying to stop you. Usually if you have naysayers, you're doing something right. At least one thing. So that you should use that as a sign to embolden yourself with your belief in your faith. Look at all the people that are trying to pull you away from the Lord and say to yourself, do I want to be like them? Do they have the lives that I want to live? And think about it in more so than a way than just how many numbers do they have in their bank account. Think about them as their existence. What kind of substance are they spreading in their community, in their environment? Do you want to be like that? And if the answer is no, then I would not worry about a single fucking word they say. If they say something useful, use it. If they got a recipe for you to learn, or they have a book that you like, take advantage of that for sure. But don't look to them for like sources of wisdom about the fucking nature of the universe and the realm of God, because clearly they don't know.
Just remember, Jesus loves you no matter who you are, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to say a few things because there are apparently some skeptics or non-believers that are reaching out to Christ tonight here in front of God and everybody. And I just wanted to say that if you're looking for Christ, just come and see. Just there's one simple thing that you can do. You can do it in chat. You can do it to yourself. You can record a video. You can do whatever you want. But I want you to say, unironically, Christ is Lord. And not as a performative act, but because you really want to believe that. And you start there and you start walking. You identify what you think to be your purpose in life is. And then you start walking in that direction and you keep Christ in your heart. And you really just focus on that one mission. I think that you'll find it. And like I said, I'm available to anyone. I'm probably one of the most available people on the whole damn planet to more people than you could possibly imagine.
And if Will can't answer at the moment, hit me up. And if I can't answer, we'll get back to you.
I would say, honestly, just a really great piece of advice, unironically, would be to actually just have a walk with yourself, have some quiet, alone solitude time, and do your best to communicate with the Lord. That would be, I was going to say the best thing you could do is to sit in silence, but honestly, walking and getting out of your comfort zone and your environment to inspire new thoughts would probably be a great thing for you. To get outside, to get moving. You don't have to do very much. If you don't have legs, roll a wheelchair. It doesn't really matter. Just, have a little bit of motion and try to, let me rephrase that. Have a little motion. Meditation's great too. but you don't have to be sitting still to meditate. You can meditate while you're in motion. That's basically what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this walk, is basically have active meditation where you're outside in nature if possible. That would be best. Somewhere where you can find peace or comfort and really speak to the Lord. Ask him questions. Ask him to show you something. Ask him to make himself known in your life. Really make a connection with him and see what happens.
I think that if you want to give Christ or Christianity or God or whatever another shot, I think that fuck the optics, do it anyway. When everything in your life says not to do that, I have a feeling that doing the opposite is probably the right thing to do.
If you're already questioning coming back to Christianity or not, that's God working on you, in my opinion. I honestly believe that. I think that if someone who has left the faith is looking to come back, I think that is God pulling them back. Like,
I think so.
I give Will credit for helping me find this path again, but if God didn't want me on it, he wouldn't have put me here. Like, in all honesty, like I think that there's a lot of things that have happened, and some people might say, oh, Quentin only got saved because his brother didn't go to jail. But no, that's not the only reason. There's plenty of reasons, and I could stand here all fucking night and tell you every single fucking one of them.
I mean, they don't even really
doesn't
matter.
Though, Lady Haven. Lady Haven, you're still welcome either way. You can talk to me if you don't want to talk to Quentin, or if you want to talk to him, or Ray, or Boki, or Shep, or even Smokey. Although I don't think you specifically want to, but you could talk. You could talk to any of us. Any questions you have, any guidance you need. There's plenty of people. I know that I'm here for whoever the fuck, because that's what I feel like God's purpose for me is. I'm here for everyone and anyone, and yes, even albinos. So I that's what I wanted to say about that. And then once you say your thing, Ray, I kind of have to do some wrapping up stuff.
Okay. Basically, what it all boils down to, it's Lady Haven basically was making a call out for Christ. Psychologically, whether you know that or not, Lady Haven, that's what you were doing by even mentioning it, that you had any kind of thoughts about it. You're making a call out for him. So you're already doing the right thing. And you just have to be willing to listen to him. And I'll say this about your last comment. So what you said, so I feel that has a lot to do with my doubts and struggles. The main issue that most people have with just about everything is they get in their own fucking way. You think that your brain is good at thinking things and coming up with answers, and it's really just not that good as a human, not you specifically, just as a human being. Your thoughts generally, problems come from thoughts. Thoughts lead to problems. So the less you think, the less you try to think, the less you put your effort into thinking, and the more you allow the thoughts to flow into you, the better off you're going to be. So meditation would probably be the single best thing that you could invest your time in. And let me just give a quick little lesson on what meditation is, because I'm going to wager none of you actually know. It's not about emptying your mind and getting rid of all your thoughts. It's about being present in the moment, understanding and accepting that your thoughts are happening like cars traveling down a highway. Observe them and let them go. Don't chase them like a dog. Observe the thoughts and let them go. And eventually you'll notice that the cars peter out and that the highway is empty. And then you can get a clear thought process going where you can open up the avenue directly to the Lord if you are so choosing to do that.
All right. And we got to wrap. So I'm going to do a couple of things here. First of all, this is just a housekeeping measure. Apparently StreamYard is going to pay me $25 for every successful referral. So they will pay me. And I think that's only because my credit card is linked, because that's how I pay for StreamYard. It's $44 a month. But they're going to give $10 off if you use the referral link, and they're going to give me $25. I have no idea how they're making money. So because they're paying me, there it is. Now that we're at the end, I guess. Yeah, if you already used. Now we shill. We shall shill.
Now we go to the Jew blood.
Yeah, I know. It's taking over. I can feel it.
The
My horns are growing back. Oh, God, the horns. Oh, my forehead. Anyway, Smokey had some poetry.
I just want to say something real quick. Lady Haven, we all love you. And if you need to talk to anybody, we're all here. Feel free to message one of us. And that's
Yeah.
for anybody. If anybody else is watching this and wants to ask questions, please feel free. I'll talk to anybody.
All right, we're gonna put this on the big screen. Here we go.
There was a very slow man. His brain would fit in a soda can. Like he would scream and shout, and then whine and pout. Everyone now knows. His life is a mess. His sister lives with him and helps him dress. Stauffer's lasagna and Jeopardy at 8. He'll mute his mic on stream to masturbate. Dude is my friend. Smokey no more. I'm off to settle an imaginary score. 1 drink for you, 3 drinks for me. Drink nonstop. Grace is free. Free grace is true. It just has to be. Otherwise, I'm going to hell for eternity.
There you go. That's Smokey's
Wow.
poetry as performed by Tommy Bot. So there he is.
Wow.
Thank you, Smokey, for that beautiful poem.
And
That
I
was
thought I was
something.
autistic. It really was. It really was some kind of.
My
it
brain
really
just shut off for like
Smokey.
3 minutes. What happened? Where am I?
I
Where are the children trying to touch my leg hair?
Not my chair, not my problem. That's what I say.
that's what I always say too.
Whoops, there it goes. Yep. My brain stopped.
Yeah.
I won't name them, but to the person that poem was making fun of, we're praying for you.
So I have when I get off of here, I can't stick around in the back. Just want to let you guys know I have to go do a personal prayer for somebody. I just want to say, generally speaking, to everyone, there are tons of people out there that'll never see this podcast, but I do want them to know that I am genuinely praying for them. I'm praying for everyone. I'm praying for the entire species, to be honest, because it seems like the more complex things, the more of a shit show it becomes. Probably more saved people 100 years ago than there are now, to be honest with you. And that is an absolute fucking catastrophe in my book. And I think that the internet should have been used as a tool to connect people, and all it's done is drive people apart. I think people get caught up in minutia, but I want to say to everyone who's listening that actually will hear this, that I understand your suffering. I've been through some of the same things that people I've been through in the first 16 or 19 years of my life. I went through more shit than most adults go through in their entire life in a very short period of time. And I'm not going to get into details, but there's videos on my channel. If you want to know, it's a video called Will Kincaid Eats Crow and Tells All, where I get into some of the specifics because it's like a 3-hour video of every goddamn thing up until that point about 5 or 6 years ago. And that's where it all is. But I'm telling you, I've been through it. I know where you're at. I understand. I get it. And I want you to know that I'm praying for every last one of you. And I will do tonight. And I know that there's some people out there that are actively hurting, that are they're struggling with addiction, they're struggling with loss, even the anticipation of a loss, which is sometimes worse than the loss itself because it just drags on. There's people like my grandmother, who is a believing Christian her entire life, church going every day, worked for the church, gave all of her time to other people, gave infinite chances to people who probably shouldn't. And she's now got dementia, and she's living in a nursing home. And that clip that you showed kind of hit me sideways. But I do understand that bad things happen to good people, but in the end, we get what's coming to us, good or bad or otherwise. And you're going to reap what you sow. So I would start sowing seeds now. The kingdom of heaven isn't on this earth. I know that's an obvious statement for some people, but for others, we lose sight of that. And it's not about the rewards. It's about doing the right thing. And the right thing and the right thing will always come from God. There is a correct direction. There is a correct thing that you should be doing. You just have to seek and find. You just have to ask, and just come and see. And there it is.
You shall receive.
I'm gonna come.
Not gonna. It's not necessarily gonna be. You're gonna make me play the clip. My autism. I can't control it. My hand.
I'm gonna come.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah. That's my present.
Injecting a little levity into it, but I'm praying for all of you, and I'm sorry for everything you're going through. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your struggle. I wish I had more power than I do, but through my faith in Jesus Christ, I hope that every last one of you is healed. I really do.
And just remember, you're not alone.
Amen.
You have this whole entire community to help you. So please.
Well, you got God on your side. If God be for you, who be against you? You don't even need to worry about all the other people. It's nice and all to be able to reach out, but honestly, you don't even need that. The Lord is that fucking powerful. Just reach out to the Lord. Always.
Yeah,
reach to the Lord.
The reason I'm letting people know is because I feel because I believe I have faith that this is what I was supposed to do the whole time. So I'm just letting people know that I'm a resource. I'm not the resource. I'm a resource, and if I help you get on the right direction, if for some reason it's not getting through to you, I can help clarify. And it's like people say about me, Will always knows a guy. So I can get you where you need to be.
We love all of you.
Does anybody have a closing prayer? I think that was pretty sufficient.
I mean, I can just say a couple of sentences if you'd like me to.
Actually, you know what,
Or
Ray, I
Kayla,
like
you wanna
your
do it?
prayers. No, I was gonna say, Will, why don't you close us out with prayer tonight?
Yeah.
I kind of just did. He said amen because it was a prayer. Because I am praying for everybody. But I just want everybody to know that the road is off and not straight. And then I pray that Jesus Christ shows us the way. I show that he shows us the path and that he is the way, the truth, and the life. And that everybody comes to him eventually in their own way, according to God's divine plan. And I pray that Jesus Christ heals the suffering of the world. And that we all seek truth through him and in him. And I pray that tonight be the night, if you haven't already, that you find Jesus Christ in your life, that you start the long journey to Jesus's divinity and his salvific nature and his divine healing. And amen.
Amen.
Anyway,
You guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yep, next Wednesday, and we don't have a topic planned out, but I'm hoping that we have something a little earlier than last minute posted. We had that figured out, but
I'll have something together for us.
If not, I
Okay.
have something. So,
all right, everybody, have a good night. I just want to point out that this was one of the more PG-13 episodes, and the lady didn't stick around for it.
Dick's out for Harambe.
Dicks out for Harambe, everybody.
Dicks out for
Okay.
Harambe.
God bless and peace of Christ to all the true saints. And we'll see you next Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern. Have a good night.